Hello and welcome to the Normal Mode Majordomo Staghelm 10-man encounter and tanking guide. My name is Outback Jack, and I will be showing you the fight from the point of view of a protection warrior. If you are watching this video, I will assume that you are familiar with the core mechanics of the fight, so we will focus on the abilities and nuances of the tank role, as well as provide some insight on the 10-man version of the encounter. Staghelm has three phases: Scorpion phase, which requires your group to stack in front of the boss; Cat phase, which requires your range to spread out around the boss; and Human phase, which adds a new element to either the Cat or Scorpion phase, depending upon what part of the fight you're in. Each time Staghelm switches forms, he gains a stacking buff called Fury that increases his Flame Scythe or Leaping Flames damage by 8%. We'll go more into those abilities later. During Scorpion phase, your raid will spread in front of Staghelm. This phase is extremely heavy on raid damage because of Staghelm's Flame Scythe ability. The Flame Scythe will spread damage across all members of your raid evenly. This damage is fire-based and can and should be mitigated by any means possible to allow you to stay in this phase as long as possible. Some examples are Feint, Anti-Magic Shell, trinkets like a Broken Mirror, and external cooldowns like Power Word Barrier. From a tanking point of view, the pull is a huge aggro race since your raid is stacked up in melee range of the boss initially. Encourage hunters to use misdirect and rogues to use tricks of the trade on you initially to secure threat in the beginning. Pre-potting with Golem Blood is also useful here. Once your raid has absorbed their preferred number of flame scythes, the raid will spread out to force Staghelm to transition into cat form. This transition can be painful since your healers will be on the run. It's advisable to use a cooldown to mitigate their damage while healers get into position. Once Staghelm's energy bar fills up, he will cast Leaping Flames. Leaping Flames will leave a flaming circle on the person he jumps on, as well as spawn a Spirit of the Flame. Spirit of the Flame will basically just melee you, but Fandral has an annoying habit of jumping behind you and forcing you to reposition, so keep an eye on the direction in which he leaps. After going through these two phases, Staghelm will briefly enter Human phase and cyclone the raid. If you are transitioning from Cat to Scorpion, Staghelm will place Searing Seeds on your raid. Searing Seeds will place a timer on each raid member, except the tank, and each person will have a slightly different duration. At the end of this timer, the Searing Seed will explode and deal around 60,000 damage to the player and everyone around them. Because the seeds damage others, the person that is about to explode will need to get away from the raid to avoid damaging other people. However, that person needs to return to the raid as quickly as possible to continue absorbing damage from the Flame Scythe. If you are transitioning from Scorpion to Cat, then Staghelm will place 2 Burning Orbs on the ground. Burning Orbs will target the nearest player and apply a stacking dot, which does moderate fire damage, increasing over time. For this reason, you will want to have 2 players per orb switching back and forth to share the dot. High stacks of the dot will also mean that Staghelm's Leading Flames will pretty much one-shot you. With all that being said, as a tank you really don't have too much to do here besides position the boss and use personal and raid cooldowns to help healers deal with the damage. Enjoy watching Staghelm pounce on your ranged raid members' heads and make some Sesame Street jokes. Thanks for watching this video. You can find our World of Logs link in the comment section below. If you have any questions, please visit the Tankspot.com strategy forums for discussion on this encounter and others. Enjoy your kill!
Two jumps.
Ah, ah, ah.